Hello, my name is Robert Hollis. I want to thank you very much for getting on this Periscope. I thank you very much for all the hearts and also sharing this with all the followers, Twitter followers. I used to be a broke auto mechanic on Workman's Comp. Got introduced to some multi-billionaires, Roger Penske and Bill Gould. Bill Gould's now with over $1 billion as well. And I just had those individuals that feed into me. This tell you how blessed I am. I never probably have said this on any other Periscope, but I still talk to them. They're still two of the people that I reach out to the most. If those of you that read, how is that working? I mentioned Bill Gould's name in there numerous times, and it's really, really neat to have mentors like that you can lean off of. And so today's title is Self-Employed or Business Owner. Now, the first thing I want to share with each and every one of you can also check me out at lifemechanic.com. So I went from broke auto mechanic to lifemechanic.com, and you can really get a lot of great information off there, including the replays of these periscopes that I've done. So now I want to share with you guys, each and every one of you, that I went out there. And there's this phrase that you guys are going to hear is when the student's ready, the teacher appears. I'm going to also give you another phrase that's really super important, right? Mentors usually continue to teach the same things over and 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 over again, right? And what ends up happening is when your level of awareness goes up and you all of a sudden need that lesson, then all of a sudden, bingo, I tell people that's the reason that I listen to not only my mentor stuff over and over and over again, but I also, listen to Jim Rohn stuff over and over again, Bob Proctor's stuff over and over again, Tony Robbins stuff over and over again, because the stuff that sort of just went by me because I wasn't ready. See, the teacher was there, but the student wasn't ready. So we always hear the phrase, when the student's ready, the teacher appears. Well, in some cases, the teacher's always there. The mentor's always there. And then all of a sudden, thank you very much, John. And then all of a sudden, you get to a different level of awareness and you go, whoa, I don't know why I didn't get this. So there was a particular point in my career where my income, John Melton, I know you're going to love this one, is there became a point in my career, and it was like 3 years into my career, and I was able to get up to that $25,000, $30,000 mark a month, and it was like I was frozen, totally frozen. And then all of a sudden something would happen, and then all of a sudden I was at a position where all of a sudden one of my main leaders would, leave, maybe go to another company, or something happened where the company overpromised and underdelivered. So they had it and they're done. That's why I said John would like that one, because we've been with companies that overpromise and underdeliver. Most of us have been. And all of a sudden, the leaders lose faith, and the people that are above them sometimes lose faith in what's going on, right? And so all of a sudden, my income would go down, and I would do everything in my power to get back excited and get all pumped up again, and I was able to do it. And I would go out there, build another leg, build another team, build those people out, and get my income back up around the $30,000 mark. Then all of a sudden, guess what? It would happen again. And I went through over 2 years of this kind of, wow, how am I going to surpass this level, right? And what happened to me is I read a book, and I've been told to read this book, all the time, and it was Robert Kiyosakis' book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now, some of you are not going to get this lesson out of that book because I was ready. And so I was reading the book, and I read the whole thing, and I'm dyslexic. It took me, I remember, I was, all by myself. I didn't, wasn't traveling home, and I spent like about, people will laugh at me when I say this, but I think it took me 2 days to read that book. And I just stayed focused, and I read through it, made sure I wasn't distracted, and really got it. And when I got through the book, it was like I was hit in the forehead, with a 2x4. I got the hugest pop. And listen to what I'm going to say here. I realized as a network marketer that I was being self-employed. Self-employed, not a business owner. Now, I know some of you are going to be confused by that statement, so let me share with you what I meant by that. All right. So I'm in control. I'm the one that's doing the recruiting. I'm the one that's doing the training. I'm the one that's virtually doing everything. I'm doing the conference calls. I'm doing the briefings. I'm doing the weekly everything. I'm doing the recruiting. I am doing everything. Right. And when someone said to me, and when I read that, I was going like a business owner. Okay, someone that's self-employed, to just give you a really key on this, is let's say that they owned a pizzeria, or let's say that they owned an auto mechanic shop, or maybe they own, a dry cleaners. It doesn't make a difference. But you'll notice that self-employed people, they just, they'd rather be self-employed than have a job. But, they don't have a life. They don't have a life. And, you'll always find where a person goes from a self-employed person to a business owner would be an individual. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. It'd be like if somebody bought a franchise, like a Subway sandwich shop, right? And they bought the franchise. They're there. They're opening it up. They're doing everything, right? They're first there. They hire some managers. Then all of a sudden the manager quits. They got to go in. They got to find. And how many people that have ever been self-employed know these words that I'm about ready to say? It's like good help is hard to find. It's really difficult to find. And so, you feel like you got everything. You got a good manager. Everything seems to be working great. And then all of a sudden that manager quits, or maybe that manager gets a better offer. Now, you take somebody that I look at, I always say find mentors and role models that inspire you. So, like a Mark Cuban, Magic Johnson. So these guys are business owners. See, they not only own theaters, you know what I mean, that, where movies are, but they also own, listen closely, they also own franchises. And so at one time, Magic Johnson had more Starbucks stores than the corporation of Starbucks had. He owned Fat Burgers and those franchises, right? Now, here's a question that you guys got to ask yourself, because people do this with Subway. So they own multiple businesses. And what they do is they hire a management team to run them and manage them, supervise them, hire the people, make sure that there's people to go in there. So now the person owns multiple businesses, but he's not getting a phone call if the manager's not showing up. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? It would be in real estate, and I know that some of you are getting the point, but I really want to drive this home, because that's where my income went from, $20,000, $30,000 a month to six figures. And it happened in 6 months. 6 months it happened, right? So here's what happened. All of a sudden, when I realized that I was the guy that was doing everything, if you looked at my entire team, all the people that were in my organization at the time, not one of them, listen to me closely, not one of them was making a full-time income. Some were making $1,000, $2,000. They would get a really good month, and then they would follow that up with not such a good month. And so, if we use an example like real estate, it would be like if you owned a property and you were the one that was collecting the rent. If the person has a problem with the washer or the hot water heater, they're calling you. And you got to go over or call a plumber or whatever to go over and take care of that. If there's something wrong with that property, it's you. But there's people that own rental properties that have a management company. And see, if you got a management company, then the person that's renting or leasing that property is calling the management company. The management company is getting the plumber over there to take care of whatever's going. They're dropping the check off at the property management place. You're checking out the world. You're visiting and doing whatever, and now you're a business owner because your businesses are bringing you cash flow. So now let me really get this into where it snapped in my mind. I realized immediately that I needed to spend a lot of personal time with individuals within my team that were showing initiative. This is not you do 50 and I do 50. You do 100, I do 100, right? And all of a sudden, that's where the GTR came from. Get them results. You can see this in my training on lifemechanic.com. This is where the professor came about. So up to that point, a lot of people that I knew that were teaching network marketing were not doing this. See, they were doing the same thing that happened to them. Somebody brought them in and said, good luck, John. Good luck. I did it. You should do it. And so you duplicate what you did. The person that brought me in the business didn't do the business. The person above them didn't do the business. The person above them didn't do the business. All the way up to my mentor, Bill Gould. None of them did this. Not one. But Bill Gould took the time to put together training to teach me how to be that mindset, how to learn how to drive in depth, how to use all this stuff that, from mindset to personal development to all the stuff that I learned so that I could go out there and now train individuals to be full-time money earners. Now, I told you that all of a sudden I don't have anyone in my group making a full-time income. Once I figured this out and I learned that I wanted to be a business owner, it changed everything I did. Because now what I did is I only did what I know would duplicate. Are you listening to me? I used to do all kinds of stuff that people told me to do. Oh, you got to do, PBRs or, private business receptions, home meetings, weekly meetings, super Saturdays, driving all over the place, doing conference calls. All these crazy things that I did that not one, listen to me closely, not one frickin' person in my entire organization wanted to do. Not any of them. So when you're doing things on a day-to-day basis that your team does not want to do, you will not be a business owner. You are going to be a self-employed network marketer, and I'm telling you, it's going to suck. You're going to be making above average income, but you're going to hear these statements, and this is one of the ones that I say all the time, and it really knocks people. Yeah, hey, well, listen, John, all you got to do is keep doing this. You and Nadia, all you got to do is just keep doing this. And if you do it, sooner or later, you're going to find another John or Nadia. And then all of a sudden, you're in the business for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. And you go, I don't have any Johns and Nadias in my group. I'm the only one. Well, where I found this out, and this is when it clicked for me, and I said, I got to start making sure that the people within my organization are not learning from me. They got to be learning from somebody else I can put them in front of that trained me. And when I figured out this little, business owner idea, is I wanted every one of them to be self-sufficient. I wanted every one of them to not be what they call in this profession leaders doing things that they don't want to do and they can't wait to stop doing them. I can't find one leader out there in the network marketing or affiliate position where I say, do you love doing weekly meetings? No, I don't. Do you like your phone ringing off the hook with 3 ways 24 hours a day? No, I don't. Do you like driving for hours to home meetings? No, I don't. Do you like not having a lifestyle? See, you're self-employed and you don't want to admit it. You're going to watch this video and you're going to be going, No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Well, if you don't like doing this stuff and no one in your group wants to do it, how do you ever get someone to a full-time income? You just did it like I did it because you didn't know any better. If everybody's doing it, then I'm going to do it. And I sure in the heck can't make $30,000 a month being an auto mechanic. You see what I mean? But it just didn't duplicate. As soon as I figured out this one thing, then what I did is I did GTR and I started using the professor and I started telling people what I was going to do and build with them. And then what I started doing is getting people to a full-time income. And when I got these people to a full-time income and I showed them what I was doing, the system that I was doing, then all of a sudden they bit into it. So now you look at my, recent company, I not only made over $2.5 million a year in residual income, but my phone never rang. I didn't do three-way calls. I didn't do conference calls. I didn't do home meetings. I didn't do weekly meetings. Here is the most important point of what I'm trying to tell you, is I had 9 people in my group that were making over $1 million a year. The compensation plan was a binary. So I had 5 in one leg, 4 in the other. That's how you make not only millions of dollars a year, but also how you have a lifestyle where the residual income is coming in. So my question to you is, if you go to McDonald's, Subway, any one of these franchises, do you know that not only when you fill out the paperwork to buy the franchise, the very next thing that they want to do is they want to send you to school? You cannot get a McDonald's a franchise without going to Hamburger University. You can't do it. If you're not willing to go and learn to run that business, they know you're going to burn out. They know you're going to fail. So when you look at franchises having a very, 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 very high level of success rate, is because when a person buys into that business, they're taught to be a business owner, not self-employed. You guys getting this? And so in network marketing, affiliate marketing, people bring you in and you're taught to just be a salesperson. And you work your butt off and no one's doing anything. That's because you're being self-employed and people look at your lifestyle and they go, my God, I sure in the heck don't want to do that. You're on the phone all the time. You're always traveling in your car doing these meetings in strangers' homes. You're always on the phone doing conference calls and three-way calls. I don't want that lifestyle. That's why they're not doing it. If you guys turn around and say to people all the time, I got people in my group and they're not doing anything, it's because they don't want to do the stuff that you're doing. You got to show them how to do stuff that they want to do. The 3 things that got to pop through their head is, wow, this makes sense. 2, wow, this is simple. This is easy. And number 3, I can do this. I can do this all day. So when I finally show people, in Life Mechanic University, showed them what I do on Facebook, you know what everybody said? And for the people that seen the training, type in here. They went, is that what Robert does? I can do that. I can do that. And that's what gets people excited. That's what really gets people excited, is when you show them what to do, and then they say in their mind, you know what? I can do this. I can do this, and I'm going to get results for it. And that's when they get frickin' excited. So if you guys didn't know this, really quickly, I'll just throw up here. You guys have probably seen this, and I'm going to post this in the video. But this is actually the quadrant that Robert Kiyosaki goes through. So we all start out at being employees up here. Then we go to self-employed, then to business owner up here, and then to investor. And I'm going to go ahead and post this, but I want each and every one of you to think very seriously. Is that very much so? Okay. Just for a minute, I thought that was Joe Kenmore. Got the hat. So each and every one of you, you got to understand the difference between being self-employed and a business owner. If your focus is on it correctly, everything will change. Let me give you one more scenario on how I share this with people. That's so important. If I asked you to be one of these 5 people, tell me which one you would love to be. First, we have customers that buy homes. So customers buy homes and customers sell homes. You could be a customer. Then you could be an agent. An agent helps the customer get a home or sell a home. Then you got a broker. The broker's got a bunch of agents, and the agents got a bunch of customers. Now the broker gets to split the 6% between the agents and has more than one. Then you got a person that owns a RE/MAX franchise. Listen closely. They own a RE/MAX franchise. So the RE/MAX franchise has a bunch of brokers that has a bunch of agents that have a bunch of customers and listings. They're a franchise, right? So now get this. You can be a RE/MAX franchise owner, and get this very closely. You do not have to be a broker. It's okay. It's better to be a broker, but you don't have to be a broker. You don't have to be a real estate agent. You can be a business owner. Now, a business owner owns more than one RE/MAX. So you could be a RE/MAX franchise owner, or you could be a RE/MAX franchise owner that owns multiple franchises, that have multiple brokers, that have a lot of agents, that have a lot of customers. Are you guys getting this? And if you were going to focus on being a customer, that's a different focus. Focus on being an agent, a real estate agent, different focus. Self-employed. A broker, a little more self-employed, but still self-employed. Or a RE/MAX owner, which you could have someone running the franchise, and they got a lot of them. I'm going to give you one more. I started out with 5. Some of you are saying, I want number 4. I want number 4. You know, I want to be a business owner. How about the guy that came up with the concept of RE/MAX? Multi-billionaire. By doing what? Coming out with a concept to help and teach people to be business owners. See, I know a lot of people out there in the affiliate world, and I know a lot of people out there in the network marketing, direct sales world. And you know where they are? They're down here. They're the agent trying to sell products, trying to sell people to become a self-employed home business person. It's okay. It's better sometimes than working at a job. But I know 99% of the people in network marketing that are not making a full-time income. You know why? They're thinking like a salesman. They're not thinking like a business owner. You got to start thinking like a business owner. So I hope some of my training will help you with this. I hope you enjoyed this. You got to think like a business owner. Does that help you? I hope that it did, because if you think like a business owner every day, I'm out meeting with people, building relationships, and showing them that they have to learn. They have to learn to be a business owner, not an agent, not a broker, not a customer, not a salesperson. Whole different mentality. Makes a huge difference. So thank you very much, each and every one of you, for getting on this Periscope. I'll have it up tomorrow morning or tomorrow at noon as a replay on lifemechanic.com. And I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you very much for all the hearts. Take care. God bless. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.